Thank you, Alex. And I've had the pleasure of hearing Alex Tapscott's speech probably about 10, 15 times now. And he has an amazing ability to curate the conversation for the audience. It does an amazing job. And if you watch his Twitter feed and if he wanted to make a concert T-shirt of all the cities he's been at, he would need a wardrobe of T-shirts to illustrate that. It's been amazing. And since he brought up Chicago, I'm a Chicago native, and I've been an investor and advocate in blockchain for several years now, and traveling the world and meeting entrepreneurs and speaking at conferences. I always came back to Chicago, and I heard crickets on Bitcoin. I heard crickets on blockchain, and I never understood why, because Chicago had this all these natural resources. Largest derivatives exchange is in Chicago, the Chicago Mercantile Exchange. History with the Chicago Board of Trade, and all these interesting natural assets to really promote a technology like Bitcoin, a shiny new digital token, and these new trading platforms and rails that are developing. And so about 2 years ago, I founded the Chicago Bitcoin Center. It's now called the Chicago Blockchain Center. So we've got all these smart marketing people thinking through these things. And the premise there was to kind of put the heart defibrillators on Chicago and say, you know, let's build a place for innovation, for dialogue, and really get the jump start on this. Since then, there's been a lot of percolation in Chicago and the state of Illinois vis-a-vis blockchain technology. And a lot of that has come from the state of Illinois. And you don't really see that in terms of government agencies looking to do this. But the smart ones are doing that now, because they're not saying, hey, how do I get manufacturing jobs into the state or into the city? They're thinking about how do I get high-tech jobs into that particular jurisdiction. And the state of Illinois has really put the effort and the energy behind this. And I'm here to introduce Jennifer O'Rourke from the state of Illinois. She runs the blockchain initiative there. And we always talk about technology in these abstracts. And technology is not much without some of the people pushing agendas and having the right energy. And Jennifer is just a complete force of nature in the state of Illinois and in Chicago, and developing the right compass and trajectory for what's ahead. And it's my pleasure to introduce Jennifer.
Hi. Thank you very much for that, Matt. It was incredibly kind, and I obviously share your enthusiasm about what is happening in the state and excitement about what is going to happen next. So why don't we jump into it? So after a significant amount of due diligence, Illinois formed the Illinois Blockchain Initiative. And what this initiative is most importantly, it's a confluence of 6 government agencies that have come together to have a conversation about how the state can support and grow blockchain and distributed ledger technology in Illinois. When you take a look up here to my left, you'll notice a very interesting roll call of participation that I'm incredibly proud of. So I hail from the Illinois Department of Commerce, which obviously has a focus on economic development. And that makes sense when you're thinking about incorporating a new technology and creating an ecosystem around it. However, where it gets really exciting is when you start to look at some of the other participants in this initiative. And we're talking about founding members, by the way. So we have, obviously, the state-level IT department, the Illinois Department of Innovation and Technology. But here's where it's going to catch a lot of attention. We have 2 regulatory bodies, the Illinois Department of Financial and Professional Regulation, and then the Illinois Department of Insurance. In addition to rounding that out with collaboration from the Illinois Pollution Control Board and the Cook County Recorder of Deeds. So as I already stated, it's incredibly unique that we have a membership composed of regulatory departments that are collaborating to work together to find ways to support this technology. But another point that I want to draw out too is the collaboration between state level and municipal level entities, which those of you who have a focus on blockchain and distributed ledger architecture can appreciate the value that that will provide as we start to think about opportunities in the future. Okay, so what is the public sector's role? I talked a little bit about the due diligence that we kicked off this initiative with. Through that due diligence process, we came to a variety of conclusions. I believe many of you have come to a variety of those same conclusions yourself, that the core innovations that blockchain facilitates need to be part of the solution to challenges that the public sector is facing. So when you look at this through a governance lens, the core innovations start to get incredibly interesting. Reconciliation, transparency, trust, disintermediation. Again, all of them provide immense value in the private sector, but the lens of governance becomes quite interesting when you pull it into when you pull the technology and its application into the public sector as well. So that brings us to the question, what is the government's role in blockchain and distributed ledger technology? And the Illinois Blockchain Initiative firmly believes that there is a threefold answer to that question. First, governance. We must modernize governance for a new economic order. Second, government integration with the technology. We must facilitate the efficient and highly integrated, we must facilitate a efficient and highly integrated government with the use of the technology. And third, ecosystem development, developing an ecosystem for growth and collaboration. Effective governance in the fourth industrial revolution will need to move beyond rules and regulations. Modern governance will need to be agile, requiring a carefully knit combination of broad policy goals, standard oversight, and technical code. On the government integration side, a hyper-connected government can enable unprecedented transparency, efficiency, and services tailored specifically to individual needs. Blockchain and distributed ledger technology will be used to connect disparate entities within and across regional, municipal, and state entities. And finally, ecosystem development. Although the long-term benefits of blockchain for industries, the economy, and society are very clear, distributed ledger technology is still very much a nascent technology. Government can play an important role in catalyzing its development by supporting the grassroots innovation. So those insights are representative of the diligence that the Illinois Blockchain Initiative completed last year that led to that the Illinois departments completed last year that then led to the formation, of the Illinois Blockchain Initiative. But obviously the work didn't stop there. The work really just began. So what have we accomplished since then? And where are we headed? If we look back on 2016, we can see in short order that we launched the Blockchain Initiative. We then followed up with the digital currency regulatory guidance that our Department of Financial and Professional Regulation, one of our two regulators in our initiative, provided. And then in short order, our Department of Innovation and Technology opened an RFI that I was pleased to see incorporated into Alex's presentation prior, that inquired about public sector application of blockchain technology. Today, I'm incredibly excited to announce that the Illinois Blockchain Initiative has formed a partnership with R3 and now will be the first state-level regulator to enter membership in R3. Also today, I'm incredibly excited to follow on Matt's coattails talking about the relaunch of the Chicago Blockchain Center. This incubator will be ground zero, where we can bring in all of the startups and the enterprises for the collaboration that will be required to build out the ecosystem in the state. As we look forward to 2017, we have a roadmap of proof of concepts that I'll be sharing shortly. And this is where it gets really exciting, and I'm very excited about it too. But also, at the same time, we have a lot of other irons in the fire. I'm pleased to announce that we have a partnership with BEN. This is the Blockchain Educators Network. That is a national organization of college students that are engineer experts and blockchain enthusiasts. And so we're going to co-sponsor a hackathon where we will open up the state's Microsoft Azure sandbox to any Illinois student to participate in a blockchain hackathon this summer. Further to this, we will be creating the Illinois Advisory Committee, which will focus on strategy for ecosystem development. Because again, we recognize the importance of building out that economic development and ecosystem support component. And finally, we'll be releasing a white paper as well. Giving a few of these things a little bit more color and tying them back to the three roles that we believe government plays in the space. With regard to governance, again, we're incredibly pleased with IDFPR's guidance on digital currencies falling outside of the purview of TOMA or the Transmitter of Monies Act, which is Illinois state-level financial regulatory act. This guidance positioned us as antithetical to some of our other peers that had more prescriptive regulatory environments for digital currency. So we are incredibly pleased to be able to have a light touch when it comes to this space. In addition, with our excitement about the partnership with R3, of course, as well. Moving on to the second component of the role that Illinois will play in the technology development, the ecosystem development. We're going to be launching a quarterly seminar series. We're again as you can see, I'm excited about a lot of things these days. So we're very excited to partner with Coin Center to address the issue of banking digital currency. We recognize that this is a very opaque space with a lot of questions around it, and we want to be part of the conversation to start getting to the bottom, or at least having a better dialogue on what this means to be working in the space from a banking perspective. Of course, we'll be supporting local meetups. We look to support those at the Chicago Blockchain Center. And also, I'm very proud to share about the creation of the Illinois Blockchain Legislative Task Force, which is an effort being done through our state legislator. So we have support for this at all levels, whether it's from the public sector but government entities, or whether it's from the public center and legislative, political entities. Also, we have a partnership with the University of Illinois that we'll touch upon in the roadmap in the next slide. And again, the student hackathons that we're excited to initiate with our partner, BEN. So let's get into the good stuff. When we look ahead for the rest of 2017, this is where the Illinois Blockchain Initiative defines ourselves, because we're very comfortable being transparent with our roadmap. We've committed to the value that this technology provides, and as such, we are working diligently to find appropriate proof of concepts and pilots where we can test bed this in our own backyard and put our money where our mouth is. So, first and foremost, we already have one in process. I hope many of you are familiar with the incredible work that was done with the Cook County Recorder of Deeds, one of our founding members of the Illinois Blockchain Initiative. They are in the process of finalizing their pilot, and when they do, they will have recorded the first land title registration in America. Now, I know that this is happening outside of the states elsewhere, but please let me underline that this is a first to happen here in the States, and we are so proud that Illinois is leading the way in our partnership with Cook County on this. When we think about what we'll be doing next, our roadmap moves us on to a partnership with the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign. Obviously, this incredible academic institution is well known for its engineering program and its research and development programs agnostic to their academic programs, excuse me. But we're incredibly excited to partner with them in particular to put credentials and eventually transcripts, academic credentials and eventually academic transcripts on the distributed ledger. As we look forward to the rest of 2017, we've prioritized health provider registries, energy credit marketplaces, and vital records on our roadmap. We've got a lot of work that we're going to need to do to get this done, but I hope that you have the same faith as I do based on what we have already accomplished. So I think that we can speak with a bit of credibility as we look towards this auspicious roadmap for 2017. So thank you very much for allowing me to share what we've done and where we're going, but I want to leave you with just a thought very quickly. The Illinois Blockchain Initiative has been successful because it was built around a thesis of collaboration. Collaboration between the private and the public sector, collaboration between state and municipalities, and collaboration between regulators and non-regulators. This thesis has positioned us for success, and I truly believe that it will continue to position Illinois to become the state of blockchain. Thank you very much.